introduce my wife. Gentlemen, if you ever want to know what a good thing to do is, introduce your wife to 350 people. And sometimes you have to be careful about what you say. But it's always good. My wife, Laila, is one of the highest regarded financial planners and wealth managers in the nation. You guys get these emails. Go ahead and do it. Right? Forbes magazine ranks her #1 in Southern California. Barron's puts her in the top 1,200 of all the nation. Barron puts her top independent in the nation. And then she's also considered in the top of all the top women in the nation. And Barron's magazine has been doing these rankings for a lot of years. So both Forbes and Barron's, the two top magazines that rank advisors, put Laila in the top 1% of everybody in the country doing it. There's about 450,000 financial advisors out here. They all put Laila in the top 1%. And the real reason is she's also in the Barron's Hall of Fame. That means this isn't a one-time wonder. That means you can consistently rank that high for more than a decade. And so without really any further ado, and oh, by the way, she's also an international TV star. Now, guys, you kind of have to, when that happens to your wife, you just have to go with it. Just go, right? So, but the other thing is, without any further ado, I want to introduce someone who's on Bloomberg, CNBC, Bloomberg Asia, TD Ameritrade, CNN, everything else. One of the top financial advisors in the entire nation. My wife and partner, Laila Pence.
Thank you so much, Ryan, for that wonderful introduction. I will say really well. Okay, last year, I talked to you quite a bit about my story, where I came from, and how I truly believe the American dream. This year, I wanted to talk to you about Pence Wealth Management. Okay? And what is wealth management? Because all of you know us for our asset management. We manage portfolios on a fee basis based on the risk tolerance and objectives. But that's not all we do. We do a lot of other things. So I just want to briefly remind you of some of the questions that we can answer for you. First of all, we're fiduciaries, okay? We always do what's in best interest first. Let's talk about financial planning. Some of the questions we can answer. When can I retire? How much can I retire on? How about when you get to retire from a company that has pension benefits, and they're giving you, do I take monthly income? Do I take lump sum? Do I take it for my lifetime, or my husband, both of us lifetimes? How about Roth? What is Roth? How much can I convert without going into the tax bracket? Is it good to even convert it? Then when you retire, people come to me and say, well, how am I going to replace my salary? Where am I actually going to get my income from? Where's the best bucket? There's all these different investments you have, the pension. Where do I take my money from so I can continue to live in the lifestyle I want to live at? How about life insurance? How much do you need? Do you have the right amount? Long-term care. I'm going to talk to you quite a bit today about long-term care. Can you still get it? 529 plans, the college plans. What are the benefits? When can I start one? How much can I contribute? Gifts. Our clients are ready givers. They want to give gifts to their children and grandchildren. And they also want to give gifts to charity. Is it better to give cash or is it better to give stocks? Tax planning. We love tax planning. How can I pay less taxes? Who wants to pay less taxes? Okay. How about tax harvesting? How do I get my income in the most tax efficient manner? Then when it comes to regard to distribution, when it gets to that, and I have to make estimated tax payments, is there a better way to avoid estimated tax payment? Can we pay for you from your R&D so you don't have to make estimated tax payments? This is something my clients absolutely love. At the end of the day, it's not how much money you make, it's what you get to keep that counts. So tax planning is very important. working here. It's not clicking. Well, can I put it in here? That's my helper. All right, thank you. All right, let's see. Got it. All right. Retirement planning, should you have a RIRO? Should you have a Roth? And how much can you contribute in a 401k? Should you have a regular 401k or a Roth 401k? How about pension plans? Do you have a business? You can put tremendous amount of money into pension plans and time benefit plans, cash balance. Should you make contributions after tax or before tax? Estate planning. How do I reduce my estate tax liability? How about successor trustee? Who's going to take over when something happens to me? And I pass away, who's going to be my successor? Very big questions. How do I protect my heirs? How about charitable trust? Is it a good idea? What kind should you choose? How do I pass my values and not just my money to my heirs? Very important question. Clients really want that. It's not just enough to give them my entire act to pass my values to them. Because, you see, we have a mission. Our mission is simple. We call it our why. We serve to help provide our clients with greater comfort regarding their income and confidence about their health. As simple as that. And we do that by putting together an amazing team. Our team, they're not only talented, highly educated, experienced, but they must have service heart. That's one of the most important things. You can't teach people to care. You can't teach a service heart. This is why I'm on mud. Number two, you have a mud right in front of you.
Is it on post fade?
Because they don't care what you know unless
The podium is on.
care.
Yeah, turn the podium on.
That we really care about our
Let's turn the podium on. It's hard to follow you.
All the events we do, all the things we do, we try to show you how we actually care. And we have an amazing team to do that better. Here's our team. Very long team. All of them in the back there, you see them? We have the lottery.
Yeah, the auxiliaries are post faders, so it must have been the podium.
Okay, yeah. Let's just shut the podium off. Perfect.
We have Nicole, Amanda, Ethan, Luis, Anish, and Bruce. Around. Okay, and then you talk from, please say hello to the student. But I'm really excited about our future team members. So, many of you know Emily. Emily just had Tessa on December 22nd. Not to be George and very quickly had Henley on January 22nd. So we like to start young, don't we? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you about, I can talk quite a bit about all the awards and accolades that I get myself. But I really am so amazed. We are so honored as a team to have this ranking. Because for 2022, Forbes ranked Pence Wealth Management number 7 registered investment advisory firm in the entire country. Just to give you an idea of how amazing this award is, there's over 250,000 registered investment advisory firms in this country. They received 36,545 nominations, 41,116 invited for the online survey. They did 15,342 telephone interviews, 3,250 in-person interviews, and 1,357 virtual interviews. And after all of that, they named us number 7. From the bottom of my heart, I have to thank all of you. Not all of you here, and those who are not here, and those who are online. We can't do this without you. But your trust and confidence in us that actually allows us to do this. And we're so thankful. So thank you. Okay, enough about pens and all of that. Let's get to really what you came here to hear, which is about taxes. Last motion, I was up here talking about The proposed Secure Act 2.0. Okay, we talked all about what's proposed. Now I get to tell you exactly what actually passed. And they waited all the way to December 29, 2022 to pass this act. Okay? Government doesn't want Washington 2 days before the end of the year. They passed it. But it made a lot of changes. The most important change is the delay in the required minimum distribution. Before this, for a long, long time, when you got to 70 and a half, you have to start taking money from your IRA account, your retirement account, and so forth. Because basically, while you're working, you need to have a 401k, IRA, and all that. And then at 59 and a half, you start taking money out. But then you get to an age where
So we
government
could
wants
hear
to
us.
tax.
Unless you
Right?
have a mic over
And
back
that
here.
used to be 70 and a half. Last year was 72, now it is 73. But for those of you who are not 65 years of age, yes,
Are they
you
sure
can
it's
wait
us?
all the way to age
Yeah, she said you
75.
could hear my voice.
So many more years to let this money grow on a tax-deferred basis. They also changed what we call catch-up provisions.
Hey, can you give me more odds on the Zoom?
Age 50, you can put an additional $7,500 away besides your $22,500 that you can do as a 401k. Now you can do $7,500. But starting in 2024, that extra contribution is going to be a lost contribution. It's not going to be deductible anymore. Now, some people may think that's a negative. I think it's a plus.
Yeah, it's not.
Having your money evolve, having your money grow tax free.
But that's not going to transmit. But just give me more odds on the Zoom.
Tax free compounding, in my opinion, is the eighth wonder of the world. It really is. You know,
Okay.
they always say compounding, but if you compound tax free, because who knows what tax is going to be like in the future. So anytime you compound your money tax free, take it out tax free for 1%.
I think,
so from starting in 2025, they've also increased catch-up provision to $10,000. Yeah, for 4 years, from 60 to 63, they've now increased to 10,000. But so this year, they've increased the IRA contribution. IRA contribution this year now for people 65, for people under 50, 6,500, over 50, 7,500. But the good thing, what they did in this act, all these numbers are going to be indexed for inflation every year. So IRA contributions, 401k contributions, all of that are going to be indexed. So if you want to see out of inflation, not like inflation, but your contribution amounts are increasing based on what inflation is going to be in the future. By the way, all these catch-up are all going to be lost from now on. They're no more deductible. There's also, you know, we're all living longer. Okay? And you know,
yeah,
I
I have a
think
feeling
technology
they don't.
and eating well,
I have a feeling they don't.
longer. And I
It
want
must
to
be someone
take
else.
just a moment because I have an idol here. One of my clients is my true idol. Okay, Horace, can you stand up? Horace is 100 years of age. I'm 110, and that's what I'm playing for. All right. So the government will all be longer, and they want people to save more money, and they want young people to save more money. So now, if you work for a company or if you have your own company, you're going to have to automatically enroll all your employees.
Yeah, I think the volume's a bit high, please.
You know what, it might have been that guy.
But you know, younger employees are always saying,
He was sitting
I
up
have
there.
money, you know, I need an emergency savings. You know, I need my money. So guess what? The government now has an emergency savings fund. So starting in 2024, there's going to be an emergency savings fund where they can put $2,500 away. It's kind of a Roth type of plan. They can take out as much as 4 times money out of it and have it tax-free and penalty-free. So they're helping. The other reason people, when they don't put money away, is because they have student loans. So now, employers will be able to match employee student loans with matching contributions. But I love this one. They made a little change in the 529 because when clients come to me and I tell them about the 529 plan, they put money away for their children and grandchildren. They automatically go tax-free, and if they're used for college expenses, it's tax-free. They always say, well, what if they don't use up all the money? You know, what if they don't use all this money that's in there? Now the government says, well, if you have this plan, 529 plan for 15 years, and your kid or your grandfather needs all the money, and there's as much as $35,000 left over, they can use the money to make Roth contributions. So now it's another reason to have a 529 plan. So when you put one of these plans in place, not only are you helping your children or grandchildren with education, you're now giving them a head start on retirement. Last but not least is they also added for this year, age 70 and a half and older, we'd like to have the qualified charitable deduction one time up to $50,000 to go into a charitable related trust. And that will count for the retirement. I just did my first one last week. I thought I was so excited because you deduct it, but then it goes into a CRT, you get income on that too. It's still deductible from your IRA, from your RV. So, okay, so these are just some of the highlights of the Secure Act. There's a lot more. I just try to put together the things that apply to most of you here. Now I want to talk to you about another subject. See, the biggest risk to your health, to your wealth, is your health. The statistics show that almost 70% of Americans age 65 or older will need some form of long-term care in their lifetime. All right. Out of that, 70%, one car will require more than 5 years. I can tell you that Ryden's dad was in a nursing home for 4.5 years. His mom was in the memory care for 6.5 years. Back in Arkansas, it was costing $250 a day to provide long-term care. Luckily, we had long-term care insurance plan. What is long-term care? It's when you can no longer do two of the following: bathing, dressing, getting in and out of bed or a chair, walking, and using the toilet to eat. So it is, as we're all getting older, which is a good thing, chances are that you'll need long-term care. And it's becoming very, very costly. The point is the states are starting to do something about it. So let me tell you about what the state of Washington just put in place. The state of Washington passed this bill called Washington Care Fund.
Wait, did you minus something?
A long-term care fund will give them as much maximum benefit as $36,500. So it's not a lot of benefit, but it is something. And you have to be in the plan 10 years. There's a 10-year vesting. And since the state of Washington does not have an income tax, they have to tax people under payroll. So age 18 and over are now being taxed 45 to 8% of their W-4 income is going to pay for this long-term care fund. So if you make a lot of money, it's very costly, right? But they said one thing. They said, if you get your own long-term care policy before the end of the year, okay, you can be exempt from the tax. But guess what? Insurance companies got inundated with all kinds of applications, right? All of a sudden, they all want to get long-term care. But by September of that year, insurance companies could not stop underwriting. They couldn't underwrite anymore. The policy and the cost, and everyone now in the state of Washington is paying extra tax to provide long-term care. So, a lot of other states, oh boy, that's a great idea. So now we have 13 other states considering the program. Oregon, California, Alaska, Hawaii, Utah, Colorado, Minnesota, Michigan, Missouri, Illinois, New York, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. It's going to be passing a lot of the states. So I'm going to talk to you about what the state of California is planning to do or considering. It's Assembly Bill 567. Okay? They're pretty much copying a lot of what the state of Washington is doing. They have potentially a maximum benefit of about $36,000. It has a 10-year vesting with a prorating, possibly. However, since we have a state income tax here, they're going to tax not just your W-2, potentially all of your income somewhere between 0.4 to 0.6. So if you make $500,000 a year and it's 0.6, that's $3,000 extra tax to have only $36,000 worth of long-term care benefits. Quite expensive for that money. So we feel that insurance companies at least are telling us that potentially if people have their long-term care insurance, they may be exempt, just like the state of Washington. So now that brings me to my 10 actions to consider, okay? I'm famous with my 10 items. I'm gonna tell you, and you can imagine my first item is to get long-term care insurance before you end, okay? Let me tell you, whether there's a potential tax or not, long-term care insurance is important. Let me show you what happened to me. So about 9 years ago, my mother had back surgery. And for rehab, the doctor sent her to a nursing home. And frankly, that was the very first time I'd ever been to a nursing home. So I go there to see her, and she's in a bed there, and then there's another woman next to her in the room, and then there's a bathroom. On the other side, there's another room with 2 other women. So the 4 of them have to share a bathroom, right? My mother was in so much pain because of her back surgery, she needed to have somebody come and change her all the time. Well, there was 1 nurse for 19 women. So I had to hire a 24-hour care for her to help her to get her more comfortable. So then I went to the administrator and said, well, what would it cost for my mother to have her own private room? She told me $400 a day. And that was 9 years ago. I remember very well driving home. I called Dryden. I said, Dryden, we're getting our own insurance. We're getting long-term care insurance. We both did. Because I'm never going to want to be in a semi-private room, be in that situation. And I'm never going to want Sarah, my daughter, to change my diaper. So long-term care is important, and I think that's why these states are doing it, but now we have another reason why you should consider it. The problem is, people say, well, what if I have these pay for long-term care and I die and I don't use it? This is why we consider number 2 is where you can have life insurance and long-term care, okay? Because this way, frankly, you're either gonna die or need long-term care. There's no other choice. So whatever you pay, you're gonna get, you or your heirs are gonna get some benefit out of it, right? So there's these plans, which we call hybrid plans also. You can do ongoing premiums, you can do a lump sum premium, okay? You can also, if you have an annuity that you've had for a long time and it has a lot of ordinary income and you've done a good job, you don't need it to live on, that income, you can actually exchange an annuity to a long-term care annuity and have that benefit tax-free. And they're also easier to qualify for because they don't give you as much benefit. So if you have that, consider number 3. But number 4 is really an important thing. Consider purchasing long-term care plans for your adult children. If you have adult children and they're like 45 or 50, they're not thinking about long-term care, are they? Right? It's 30 years from now, right? And they have all these other expenses. But actually, that's one of the best times to get it because they're healthy. One of the biggest problems is when people come to me when they're older, it's very hard to do the underwriting. Insurance company want to insure you only when you're healthy, right? And it's very costly. But if you can give the gift of long-term care for your adult children, and now potentially save them the tax that they're going to pay, right? What a great thing that you can do for them. Number 5, consider high-yield government money market funds or certificate of deposits for cash reserve. Now, I've been doing these lunches for many years. I've never talked to you about this because we never had an interest rate, right? We were getting 0 in the bank. Now we have government money market funds paying over 4.5%, completely liquid, available for you all the time. And there's even money markets are paying even higher yields. And then with certificate deposits, what happened with Silicon Valley Bank, people really want to have their CDs insured. Well, if you go to your local bank and you're an individual, you can get $250,000. If you're joint, you can get $500,000. So people are going from one bank to the other bank to the other bank. Well, with our account, we have 40 banks insuring CDs. So a couple can have up to $20 million, all insured, certificate deposit with us, okay, all in one account. And actually, we pay much higher yields because they don't have brick and mortar. So if you're interested in that, we're certainly happy to accommodate you. All right, number 5, you can also now pre-fund 5 years of college funding if you're single, you could put $85,000 away. If you're joint, you can put $170,000 one time into a 529 plan and for each child. And now with this Secure Act allowing that Roth $35,000, it's another reason to fund 529 plans. For larger estates, consider gifting to your heirs now. You know, after 2026, it's a very high likelihood the exemption for estate taxes is going to go down dramatically. Okay, so you have a couple years to start gifting and doing some planning to reduce estate taxes. Number 8, consider a corporate trustee for your successor trustee. Clients come in and they have 3 children and they name all 3 children as trustees. They can't get anything done. Then they name one child as trustee. That child can do no right. He could do no right, and it's a very complex subject, and it's a lot to do. And you wind up having, I've seen brothers sue their sisters and sue their family members, and it is a daunting job to be a successor trustee, especially if you have any sort of a complex estate, right? There's corporate trustees, that's what they do for a living. If you want to make sure your trust is actually, you follow whatever it says, consider a corporate trustee. Keep your family loving each other after you pass away. Number 9, ask us about structured products. Structured products are even more popular now because we have an interest rate. These are products that you can have if you want to limit your downside, okay, and you're willing to reduce some of the upside. That's what structured products do. They're designed really where you want maybe some principal protection and still be in the market, or you want some higher income, okay? There's lots and lots of structured products, and they're becoming very popular right now. So just ask us about it, and we'll be able to tell you what works. Last but not least, meet with your advisor to determine the appropriate time to take your Social Security benefit. This is a very, very important decision, and you know we have a great speaker coming up that will talk to you quite a bit about that.